Alrighty, well, hello sinners. How are you? On today's installment of the letterboard of truth, our quote of the day is pronouns, proud American. Alrighty, just so you know, those are my pronouns going forward because I salute to one flag and one flag only. It is 2022 and wokest, leftist librarians are taking over our country. I mean, every time you go on Twitter, these BMWs have made up 47 new genders and it's not even 10 a.m. I've heard some crazy ones too, like boy, she, them, gay, trans. It's ridiculous. I mean, when is enough enough? According to God, Jesus, the Lord, and biology,
it's biology,
there are only two genders: proud American. And if you don't like it, that's fine. I don't expect you to. This entire intro was satire anyway, so. The fight for America begins now. So if you're watching and you care about our country, it's time to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and storm your local coffee franchises to let the alphabet soup pronoun police know who is boss. On an unrelated note, today's video is about Christian Walker.
Liberals, shut up about Trump and let's talk about how crappy Joe's doing. Hi. Can I just do a grande green tea frappuccino?
Between his enthusiastic support for Donald Trump and his divisive social media presence, Christian Walker is a name that will elicit a reaction from anyone who is politically active on the internet. But for those who are blissfully unaware, who is Christian Walker? First of all, you're so lucky. But in all seriousness, Christian Walker is a former competitive cheerleader turned political reactionary. He's also the son of famous retired football player Herschel Walker, who, I might add, has a net worth of $12 million. So based on this little factoid, this very minor detail, it's safe to assume that Christian has lived a very comfortable life. This isn't a bad thing by any means. I'm glad Christian was fortunate enough to have his needs met growing up, and I think everyone deserves to feel that sense of relief. But to me, it's just very transparent how Christian's financial privilege affects his political stances, and you'll see that the further we go on.
I can care about the working class while still buying Fendi! Hi, can I...
But before we continue, I would like to dive in and thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark. Get it? Because like shark and you dive into what? Okay, you get it. I promise I will be back very shortly, and once I return, we will explore further into the chaos that is Christian Walker. Hello, sinners. For the first time in 2022, I am in a different shirt, and I'm here to tell you about today's sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark is a virtual private network that works to keep your online identity safe by encrypting all of the information sent between your device and the internet. A VPN is crucial in protecting your online data from big corporations or cyber criminals, especially if you use free public Wi-Fi, because unfortunately, public Wi-Fi is a goldmine for hackers. By masking your IP address, a VPN ensures that your city, country, and download history are not connected to your identity. However, Surfshark does not monitor, track, or share what you do online, so your personal information will be in good hands. Not only does Surfshark encrypt your online data, it also allows you to change your virtual location. Surfshark has over 3,200 servers in 65 countries, so you can unblock content libraries from streaming services all around the world. For example, lately I've been in the mood to rewatch past seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, but I can't since I live in the United States and for some reason Drag Race isn't on US Netflix. Thanks a lot, RuPaul. But all I gotta do is switch my virtual location to London, and now I can watch all the Drag Race my heart desires. So if you want to secure your online data today, all you gotta do is go to surfshark.com and use code Annamarie to get 83% off plus 3 extra months for free. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in trying it out. The link is at the top of the description if you're interested in testing Surfshark out for yourself. Thank you to Surfshark for supporting my channel. Now let's get back to your scheduled programming. As I was saying, Christian has the tendency to let his wealthy background influence his view on politics, and sometimes this makes him come across as a hypocrite. I know, it's hard to even fathom that a conservative would ever be hypocritical or self-righteous. It's not like we had one in office for 4 years who enabled this behavior and gave voices to the worst people in the country, so because of this, I will give you a moment to process this discovery. Okay, that's enough. This is a perfect segue into Christian's most recent controversy, which you might have seen go down a few weeks ago. To catch you up to speed, back in December, Christian filmed himself at a gas station pump complaining about Biden raising gas prices. Because as we know, Biden's main goal when entering office was to make Christian Walker's life a living hell. And you know what? Christian's had it, so let's see what he had to say.
Y'all said Joe Biden was gonna be the great unifier? This is divisive to my bank account and my hard-earned money. Screw your unity. You think this is unifying?
No, it's not.
Just keep going up. Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden for you families struggling to afford to get to work. That's unifying? That's bringing the nation together? Screw this.
I didn't realize when voting for Biden that I was also voting for Christian to willingly purchase a luxury car that runs on premium gas. Fuck. Damn it. Should have thought that through.
Disgusting. Oh, just keep going. Keep going.
That's kind of how filling your gas tank works, Christian. You know, the more gas you need, the more you have to pay.
Democrats voted for this. Democrats voted for... What the... Wait, what? I know this is a joke, but I was voting for the guy who was gonna destroy America. You were paying $30 for gas under my guy.
Breaking news, everyone. Did you know that a car with a starting price of $70,000 is expensive to maintain? Was nobody gonna tell Christian? Judging by the interior of his new car, it appears that he is driving a 2022 Range Rover Sport. And the only reason why I know this exact model is because he confirmed it on his Instagram story after the fact. Like I just mentioned, this luxury car starts at $70,000, but if you want all the bells and whistles, it can cost up to $132,000. So I think I'm just gonna stick with my 2009 Toyota Corolla. My favorite part about the whole situation is how Christian keeps relating this back to the working class, as if most working class Americans can relate to him filling up his brand new Range Rover while wearing a $1,200 Givenchy hoodie. Especially since we know Christian's family history, this is all pocket change to him. It just seems like he's weaponizing the struggles of the working class, so he has an excuse to complain about this glaring first world issue. After this all went down, a lot of people on social media called Christian out for his obvious lack of self-awareness, but he was not having it. So Christian took to his Instagram story to respond to the backlash.
I'm never going to apologize or feel bad or ashamed that I grew up blessed and with hardworking, successful parents who instilled those values in me. Even through my blessings, I still recognize the struggles of working class Americans, and that's why I care about them and speak up for my fellow American citizens, because their issues and their struggles are important to me. I'm not one to brag, but if you want to push me and try to make a joke, whatever, I can be the best bragger ever. Try me. Fendi only made 2 of these in each size. Look at how cute the yellow is inside.
That's nice and all, but I don't believe a word he says here, mainly because his entire brand revolves around making fun of the working class. On the same night Christian posted this to his Instagram story, he filmed himself giving an attitude to a McDonald's employee because they didn't have a menu item in stock.
Hi, can I do a large fry and a M&M McFlurry with double M&M?
There's no ice cream.
Oh, okay. I'll try the holiday pie then.
Anything else?
And a bottled water.
Anything else?
That'll be it.
The worker is there to take your order, Christian. There's no reason to put him on blast on your huge platform. But really, I'm sorry that you couldn't get your M&M McFlurry. I am beyond devastated for you. That actually sounds pretty good, though. So maybe I am actually sorry.
Well, McDonald's must be run by liberals. If they don't have anything, they're out of this, out of ice cream every time. You know, that's not a conservative business, that's for sure.
Christian, bestie, I promise us liberals aren't trying to sabotage your late night McDonald's run. The ice cream machine was probably being sanitized since it's the end of the day, and unfortunately, McDonald's ice cream machines are notorious for being difficult to clean. But yeah, who am I kidding? It's all the left's fault. Thanks, Joe Biden.
The rich need to pay their fair share of federal income tax. The top 10% is paying over 70% of federal income tax. Sweetheart.
So Christian is correct here. The top 10% includes folks who make over $200,000 a year. You know, the more money you make, the more you owe in taxes. That's just how the system works. According to ProPublica, the federal tax code is meant to be progressive. That is, the rich pay a steadily higher tax rate on their income as it rises. And ProPublica found, in fact, that people earning between $2 million and $5 million a year paid an average of 27.5%, the highest of any group of taxpayers. However, ProPublica also found that tax rates fall for anyone bringing in more than $5 million a year. Above $5 million in income, though, tax rates fell. The top 0.001% of taxpayers, 1,400 people who reported income above $69 million, paid 23%, and the 25 very richest people paid still less. The wealthy can reduce their tax bills through the use of charitable donations or by avoiding wage income, which can be taxed at up to 37%, and benefiting instead from investment income, usually taxed at 20%. ProPublica also found that the richest Americans probably pay less in taxes than you. Bezos, for instance, offset income he earned in 2007 and 2011 by claiming he lost money on investments, zeroing out his tax bill, according to ProPublica. In 2011, Bezos reported earning so little that he claimed and received a $4,000 tax credit for his children. Between 2006 and 2018, Bezos reported paying $1.4 billion in taxes on $6.5 billion in income, ProPublica reported. His wealth increased by an estimated $127 billion during that span. Using calculations by Forbes magazine, ProPublica noted that the wealth of the 25 richest Americans collectively jumped by $401 billion from 2014 to 2018. They paid $13.6 billion in federal income taxes over those years, equal to just 3.4% of the increase in their wealth. Let's talk about how Christian's Lord and Savior, Donald Trump, who was part of the 0.0001% richest people in the world, paid no income taxes 10 out of the 15 years before his presidency. And in 2016, the year he won, Trump only paid $750 in federal income taxes, and then another $750 the following year. Also hanging over him is a decade-long audit battle with the IRS over the legitimacy of a $72.9 million tax refund that he claimed and received after declaring huge losses. An adverse ruling could cost him more than $100 million. It's just very convenient that Christian always leaves this part out. What do you think? Anyone else hungry, or is that just me?
So how about you stop smoking weed on the couch all day and you go get a better job? Stimulus shopper? Stimulus check acceptor? I don't care if you're getting a stimulus check. I really don't.
Oh, really? Is that why you just used stimulus check acceptor as an insult literally a second ago?
People need help, but what you're not going to do is sit here on the couch all day eating food because you're home because of the pandemic going, the rich need to pay their fair share. Rich people aren't getting a stimulus check. They're paying you.
Why would the rich need a stimulus check? Doesn't it make sense for that money to go to working class citizens who need those checks to survive?
You shut your big trap, you go get a better job, and you create the life that you want. I said stimulus shopper the other day because that's what people are doing. They're up at Gucci when they should be paying the rent. And someone said, oh, it's none of your business what people spend their money on. Oh no, when taxes are paying you, when everybody's taxes are sending you free money, it is my business what you spend your money on. You're spending my money.
That's not true, actually. The majority of stimulus check recipients use that money for bills, emergency savings, or essentials. But you're pro-working class, right? You know, as you ridicule the working class for struggling during a pandemic and needing government assistance to keep a roof over their heads. Believe it or not, Christian's made quite a name for himself in the conservative influencer space due to the unique way he delivers his message.
Pretty soon, we're gonna be out of Gucci and Fendi. Stop this madness. Stop voting for Democrats.
Man, his voice just goes right through sometimes. I really hope none of you are watching this at full volume.
I'm a little confused because day one of Pride Month, Starbucks started hanging the rainbow flag. It's July. Where are the American flags? Where are they? You know what, fine. We'll talk to the manager at the drive-thru window. Oh, yes, we will.
He did not just pull the "can I speak to your manager" card. Relax, Karen Walker. It's hysterical watching him foam at the mouth because corporate didn't send this Starbucks location an American flag yet, but also as a former retail worker, my heart goes out to the poor baristas who are about to face Christian's wrath.
Because you were all about visibility and inclusion during Pride Month. Well, I feel included and visible under the American flag. Where's my flag? Where's my representative in flag form?
I'm just picturing the line of cars slowly forming behind him the longer he goes on.
Visibility and inclusion during Pride Month. Well, I feel included and visible under the American flag. Where's my flag? Where's my representative?
All I'm saying is that if you're gonna do an Instagram rant in your car, at least have the decency to pull into a spot beforehand. You know, some of us want our cold brew at a decent hour. Is that too much to ask?
You listen to me and you listen to me clearly. It's our Independence Day. Put up the American flag. The American flag is for every single American. And I'm not liking how exclusive you are. Yeah, maybe not all of us, even if we like men, identify under that flag. I identify as an American. Where's my flag?
Someone get this man a fucking coffee before he drives his car into the establishment, please. Bestie, I really don't know what to tell you. Just hang a cute little American flag decal from your mirror and call it a day.
I thought you were all about diversity, leftists. I thought you were all about inclusion. Well, the American flag is for everyone and that one's not. Where's the inclusion for everybody else?
The purpose of the rainbow flag isn't meant to represent every single person in existence. It's meant to represent everyone in the LGBTQ plus community, a marginalized group that's often excluded in the media. The whole point of it is to promote diversity and inclusion.
Can I do a tall vanilla bean frappuccino?
Do you want whipped cream?
Please. Are y'all gonna put up an American flag for July 4th?
I'm waiting for it on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So I was right. They're just waiting to get it in the mail. Christian could have saved us a whole 2 minutes if he didn't jump to conclusions.
She said she's waiting for it on Amazon. Okay, babe, I'll be back by July 4th. Amazon Prime comes in a day. So I'll be back at this location July 4th to make sure you got the package, okay?
Just for the workers' sake, I really hope that Amazon package came in time. Also, the barista at the drive-thru is a much better person than I am, because if that were me, I would have just turned the speaker off and let Christian argue with himself.
Liberal women, stop talking about how many abortions you've had and growing your armpit hair out if you want to attract a man.
You know what's actually hilarious? The fact that you're promoting your I Choose Freedom merchandise in the same video you're mocking women who are exercising their freedom to keep their armpit hair. I just thought I'd point out the irony.
Maybe this is why Pride Month has gotten so big. So many men are now turning to the rainbow flag because they can't find a woman they want. Bring back femininity.
Men who are afraid of a little armpit hair are the weakest members of society, and rest assured, natural selection is coming for them. Also, I think it's pretty messed up that Christian, as a gay man, is promoting the narrative that you can just turn gay, even if it's only a joke. Like, no, people don't choose to be gay. We're just born that way.
Bring back being secretive. Stop talking about how many guys you've banged and your body count on your Instagram page, and maybe be a woman and attract a guy.
What about lesbians, Christian? What are we, chopped liver? Personally, I think the most womanly thing you can do is date another woman. And, you know, maybe I'm just biased because Christian does not say lesbian rights.
Give me a break. Talking about something else. We want a man who stands for our rights. Okay, save the conservative men for those of us who want a guy who has a job. You can have the guy on unemployment checks protesting for abortion rights. Nobody wants him anyways. You take him, honey. I'm sure he has blue hair too. The ghetto. The ghetto.
In true Christian Walker fashion, he has to sprinkle some classism right on top of his misogyny. Listen, Christian, you can keep the conservative men. Have at them. We don't want them, I promise you.
Of all these obese and hairy people in the fashion and beauty space now, the postmodern fashion beauty space telling us, eat what you want, gain weight, and grow your armpit hair out. It's never gonna be in. It's never going to be in. I don't care that you say beauty is a society system and we have to break it down. No, beauty is not a society system. It's pretty. Everyone has their own taste, but women, your armpit hair is never gonna be in.
So is beauty not a societal system, or does everyone have their own taste? Like, which is it?
Maybe men aren't trash, and maybe you feminists should shave your armpit hair.
I wish Christian would actually respond to feminist talking points for once, instead of being deeply misogynistic. You can't just sit here and say armpit hair bad and expect that to be a decent rebuttal. I challenge Christian to give his stance on feminism without body shaming women in the process. I'll wait. I'll probably be here for a while, but I have time.
Ew, the feminists who grow the armpit hair out? Shave that! What is that under there, a squirrel?
Hey, it's not a squirrel. It's a rabbit, and his name is Chester.
I was at a laser hair appointment one day, because I laser everything. And there was this woman who was there for a consultation she didn't know, and I was just trying to help her out. I'm like, trust me, best thing you'll ever do, like, just get it. And she's like, well, what if hair comes back in style? I'm like, oh, hair under here it's never gonna be in style. I don't care how many blue-haired liberals pose for magazines like, oh, I'm an empowered feminist. Look at me, look at me. It's not cute. Shave it.
It's perfectly fine that Christian removes his body hair. If being hairless is something that makes him comfortable, that's great. But instead of having his opinions and moving on, Christian always jumps to insulting the physical appearance of everyone he disagrees with. It's not that Christian wants to have an open conversation about feminism, he just wants an excuse to degrade women. That is what we call ad hominem, ladies and germs.
Hair's definitely hot on a man. Probably just gonna go ahead and say that's my preference. Not on me, for sure. I'm smooth. But when a feminist is like, oh, so you're for the gender binary? Yes, for the gender binary. Can I nod my head enough? Yeah. I don't want to hear a word about how mean men are when you're unhygienic. Shave that armpit hair, feminist. Blue hair. Hi,
I just choked on my hair. Does he rehearse these tangents ahead of time? Or is it all just off the cuff? I would really love to know. If we're going by his logic, though, why does he not consider hairy men to be unhygienic as well? Oh, misogyny. You've probably noticed by now that Christian's favorite insult to throw at people is blue hair. He loves calling everyone he disagrees with a blue-haired liberal like it's nobody's business. This particular insult must have such a special place in his heart because he actually went as a blue-haired liberal for Halloween.
I'm non-binary, it's a real gender. Put your mask on. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. My body, my choice, but you go get the vaccine. If we don't stop climate change in 15 seconds, the world's gonna end. Stop being racist.
See, I thought we left the blue hair joke back in 2016, you know, back in the Leafy days, back in the SJW cringe compilation days. Let the joke die, Christian. Lay her to rest. This little bit you're doing right here, it's pretty dated. Just like your politics. Now it makes sense. Maybe he's a lot more clever than we thought.
I'm gonna be taking political advice from people who can't decide what pronouns they're supposed to use. Yeah, no. Decide what bathroom you're supposed to go in before you come for me.
Conservatives have two jokes. blue hair and transphobia.
Here's what I find so funny. Complaining about pronouns is a privilege.
Asking people to respect your identity is being privileged, apparently.
It's typically an automatic block. If you give me an attitude in my DMs and I see that you have pronouns in your bio, typically accompanied by some blue hair dye. Yeah, every time, a green streak in the hair, pink hair, whatever.
Get a new joke! Christian, I am begging at this point. I will buy one of your stupid little freedom t-shirts if it means you'll finally come up with some new material. More money in your pocket. Hire a fucking ghostwriter.
You want to know what my pronouns are? Proud American! Build the frickin' wall! Hi, thanks.
This has to be satire, right? This is either performance art to its highest degree or just really fucking sad. I don't know, to me, using someone's correct pronouns is pretty damn easy if you're willing to try. I just don't get how showing basic respect and decency in a 10-second interaction at most is such an inconvenience for you. I will never understand.
Alright, so for the waters right now I can only do tall, is that okay?
That's fine.
Perfect, did you want ice?
Please. I spend like thousands of dollars a year at Starbucks. You can only do a tall water. Welcome to socialism. Can't get waters at the sizes you want. This is why I don't come here anymore. It's like the ghetto. Can't with that.
There it is, folks. I can't believe it took us this long in the video to bring up socialism, but we finally made it. When in doubt, blame socialism, even if you don't know what it means. You stub your toe? Socialism. Traffic on your morning commute? Socialism. I'm starting to run out of water. Am I gonna blame socialism?
You bet your bottom dollar I am.
If you're a conservative watching me right now and you call any inconvenience in your life socialism, unironically, I would like a 5-page essay breaking down the Communist Manifesto on my desk by this time tomorrow. And I don't accept late work.
Oh, not the rainbow flag month! Ah! Not Pride Month, no! Nobody needs a month when you have all your rights. You can get married, you can do whatever. Walking around the streets naked at a Pride festival isn't accomplishing anything. Actually, what it's doing is it's perpetuating stereotypes, which we're not allowed to say anymore because that's not PC, aka it's the truth.
Until we reach a point where queer people aren't murdered just for being queer, we do need a Pride Month. Until we reach a point where queer people don't face housing or job discrimination, we do need a Pride Month. The parades and festivities we get once a year don't erase the work we've already done or negate the progress we have yet to make. There is so much history behind Pride, and it's important that everyone in the modern LGBTQ+ community honor the groundwork that our ancestors laid for us.
And sweetie, I can promise you this right now. When every multinational, every transnational company is turning their logo rainbow for the month of June, you're not oppressed anymore. Nobody cares about your sexuality.
Yeah, that's called rainbow capitalism. Companies pander to the gays every June to drive up profits, and most of the time they don't actually do anything to help people in the LGBTQ+ community. But, you know, since LinkedIn had a rainbow logo for 30 days, homophobia is over. Great work, team. Let's go let the rest of the gays know. So we've only seen a small portion of the inflammatory shit Christian has posted online. I mean, if you go through any of his social media, you will find a catalog of really disgusting takes. But you're probably wondering, how has he gotten away with this behavior for so long? He's openly bigoted towards several communities, but has he faced the consequences of his actions? And the answer is yes, but also no. Just like Icarus, there have been times where Christian's flown too close to the sun. I would say his main platforms right now are Instagram, Twitter, and his podcast called Uncancelable. I don't think that's a word, but I will let it slide. However, Christian gained a lot of notoriety on TikTok, and at his peak, he had over 400,000 followers. But due to the fact that Christian was spreading misinformation about the 2020 election, aka promoting election fraud theories, his account was removed early last year. This was his response to the ban. I have 400,000 followers as a conservative political commentator on TikTok, and they just banned my account. Question: do you have a problem with people of color who don't subscribe to your views? This is outrageous. Their platform is so pro-black and allow people of color to publicly bully white people, but when they have a black conservative who doesn't subscribe to that way of thinking, they ban them? Wow. A lot of people thought Christian's reaction was hypocritical, since he's always criticizing the left for having a victim mentality. In fact, he even sells merch on his website that says, "Be a victor, not a victim." Another TikTok creator named Jory, also known as Alluring Skull, summed up my thoughts perfectly on the situation, so I'm gonna let her take the floor.
Christian's also the same person that's always saying that liberals and leftists are quick to play the race card, but the second something goes wrong, guess who mentions their race? And if that wasn't ironic enough, look what he posted yesterday. Racism doesn't make the top 100 of America's most dire issues. So why even bring race into this? Maybe TikTok ban you for things like, I don't know, glorifying the death of George Floyd by making merch that says I can breathe with a little kissy face on it. Perhaps they ban you for spreading false information about the election fraud that happened earlier this year that led to the insurrection of January 6th. Of all people on this platform, I would think you, Christian Walker, wouldn't play the race card, especially in this situation, considering the history of the content that you used to post on that account.
Not only has Christian received online backlash, but he's also faced real-life repercussions as well. If you didn't know already, Christian currently attends UCLA. In December 2020, a bunch of his classmates at UCLA reported his online behavior to the dean of students. By this point, Christian had a decent amount of clout, meaning that his problematic and damaging statements were reaching a wider audience. The dean of students received so many complaints about Christian, they released a statement on the UCLA page to address the situation. UCLA's Dean of Students is aware of remarks in which a student uses hurtful language on social media. The words we use online can hurt or heal. While freedom of speech may protect the right to make offensive statements, we encourage our students to exercise their rights in a way that is principled, thoughtful, and respectful. Language that denigrates others, especially on the basis of disability, race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, and similar characteristics, violates UCLA's values of equity, empathy, inclusion, and dignity for all. Following these tweets came a slew of posts from Christian and his audience condemning UCLA and the leftist liberals who reported him for his online behavior. A bunch of psycho liberals emailed the dean of students that I was hurtful online, so UCLA put this statement out. Dear UCLA, I'm not hurtful. I'm a conservative American and I'm truthful. Hashtag MAGA, hashtag Trump 2020. My school, UCLA, hates me because I'm not a communist and I love America. My school, UCLA, thinks I'm hurtful because I don't share their political ideology. UCLA, I'm not hurtful. I'm a truthful, America-loving patriot, and I attend your institution for an education, not indoctrination. Go to one of your leftist safe spaces and get over it. Were you reported to UCLA because you made a lot of hurtful and disgusting remarks about the 2020 election and the Black Lives Matter movement? Was it because you're incredibly misogynistic, transphobic, and classist? Or was it because you call people who disagree with you the R-slur?
Live in a safe neighborhood, and now criminals are gonna call the shots. And liberals criminal justice reform. Oh, so me getting shot and having my property broken onto is criminal justice reform. Okay, retard. Retard, you are probably retarded. If you're offended by a word, you're probably retarded. Just like the black community acts like they're offended by the N-word, and then they go around all day calling each other the N-word. Mentally ill. Done. So if you don't like how I off my live, I'm not doing this for you. This is my page for my thoughts.
What the fuck, Christian? I don't have to explain why this is bad, right? This clip right here tells me everything I need to know about Christian's character. If you're throwing around the R-slur, that is the quickest way for me to lose respect for you. I mean, if you act like this in general, I will have no respect for you. And yet, he still goes to UCLA, he still has a huge social media platform, he still gets invited to events and to speak on Fox News, so has he really faced any consequences for his actions besides a slap on the wrist? Not really. If anything, these two situations have incentivized him to continue doing what he's doing. It sickens me that someone as hateful as Christian Walker has a platform, and I only see his reprehensible behavior getting worse over time. But that's it. That's all I have for you today. My only hope for this video is that horrible people stop gaining platforms. And I know this video is kind of doing the opposite, but hopefully I gave some of you insight on who Christian Walker really is. If you'd like to see me talk about anything in particular going forward, I have a Google form linked in the description where you can submit your video ideas. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, aka the size of Christian's ego, and subscribe down below. Thank you again to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye!